Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming at y'all with another story time today. It's been about a week since I've been able to post on my channel. Holidays, got Easter egg hunts, got all of that. So I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I also got a really great addition to my family, which is my new computer. If you haven't seen it, that's because you haven't been following me on my Snapchat or my Instagram, which, I mean, shame on you. I got like the desktop one that has like a crap ton of memory, so I can like be a wizard with my editing skills and all my problems are gone. So I spent this last week really organizing my entire life, my office, getting ready for this computer to be delivered, and now I'm ready to go. So I hope you guys are ready for me. But today I'm going to be coming at y'all with a story time. So first of all, one change is this chair. So this is my new office chair. Yes, I'm getting a little bit fancy, but also because the other chair that I used to film on was like a stool, and your girl's needing some back support right about now. So I hope this isn't like a distraction, and I'm going to try really hard not to swivel in it, but I mean, it's just so fun. So that's two changes: the chair, the computer. The third change, which is pretty obvious, is my hair. I did dye my hair. I put some highlights in it. I usually do this around summertime when like summer's creeping up because I need my hair to be lighter, you know, because I'm basic like that. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like it kind of adds some texture to my hair, so I hope you guys are feeling it. If not, that's cool because I'm feeling it. If you're wondering who I went to, if you guys live in Denver and are feeling my hair and would like to go to her, I will leave her info down below. Obviously, this is not sponsored. I just like shouting out really hardworking people. So definitely check out my description box if you are interested. Today's story time is going to be about the most ridiculous lie that I was ever told. Honestly, and it's funny because I didn't even remember this story until I was at dinner with the boys, Julian and David, and we were talking about Julian like getting older, and you know, he's going on in his school, and like he's just getting so big, and like he's gonna be in middle school and high school, and you know, life is just happening. And so I was like, man, I can't wait to like see him, you know, grow, and like he's gonna be a teenager soon. Like I can't even get my mind around it. But anyways, I started thinking about, you know, Julian's a really smart kid, so I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to be like in advanced placement classes, right? Myself and David were both in AP classes when we were in high school, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Julian. And so we were talking about that, and I remembered this story. I told David, it was like the most ridiculous thing, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you guys would like to hear about this story, and of course the person that this is involving and that is the source of the most ridiculous lie on the face of the earth, is Robert's funky ass. So if you guys would like to hear this story, definitely keep on watching. As usual, before we get to today's story time, today's glamour shot of the day is my beautiful glamour song that I found on Instagram, and her name is Monica. She looks gorgeous, and as you can see, she's modeling one of my glamour song sweatshirts because she loves me. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me. You guys don't know how much that means to me, and y'all already know how much I appreciate it. I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get into the story time, girl. I hope you guys got your wine, got your snacks, and are ready to hear story time, because we're just gonna dive right in, girl. I am not Sarah Basco. We need to redo that, because I already know it's gonna be a lot of people in my comments talking about that's what Sarah Basco says, and I know because I love her. So like I said before, this story time is about Robert's funky ass. Okay, so we're gonna rewind life a little bit, and as most of you guys know, I did meet Robert's funky ass at my 4th and final high school. Okay, now as I mentioned before, I was in AP classes for most of my high school career. Not because I wanted to be, but because I had a crazy mother. Okay, I remember one year I tried to get out of having AP classes, and I had transferred schools. This was like my sophomore year, and they messed up on my schedule when I moved, and they put me in normal classes, right? And basically the only difference between normal classes and AP classes is AP stands for Advanced Placement, and basically it's just like a crap ton more homework. It's like a lot more information thrown at you. Like the quantity of information is a lot more all at once, and the credits that you earn in that class go towards college credits, so you can get started on your college credits before even leaving high school. So my mom wanted me to be in AP classes like you know, all the time. And it was, the work wasn't hard per se, it was just a lot of work. It was just a lot of it. So like your friend that was in a normal class, you know, got like, you know, 3 pages of homework. Meanwhile, you in your AP class, you got like legit like a 25-page essay on the same shit. I got my schedule and they didn't have me in AP classes, like they messed up. And I was like, you know what, I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna stay in my normal classes because I'm trying to chill. You can earn college credits in high school. Like I don't know why I was so stupid like that. My mom ended up seeing my schedule and she was like, hold them up. Like why are there not any AP classes on here? And I was like, I don't know. She went to my school, talked to my academic counselor, and they got me in AP classes. The only AP class that I was not doing was math, okay? Because I was not that great at math. That was not your girl shit. I was not a mathematician by any means. The only math subject that I was good at was geometry. Algebra and all that, your girl went full on dumb. Like I could not, numbers and we ain't homies. So that's like some information to keep in mind, okay? So your girl's always been in AP classes. So I transferred over to my 4th and final high school and I was a junior and obviously I had AP classes as per usual. When I first transferred over there, I was talking to this guy and I still have not told y'all this story. What the hell? I had this one boyfriend before Robert's funky ass, okay? And I will tell his story at a later date. But he and I got together probably like 3 or 4 months into the school year, and he was in my science class, and so, you know, he and I started talking. It was not anything serious, and he and I started talking for about 2 weeks, like, you know, going out, and then he lied to me. I was just constantly getting lied to, okay? Boys, especially in high school, liars, okay? I don't play that now, I didn't play that then. So he lied to me. He ended up getting suspended, right? And I was like, not about that. Like, while he was suspended, in the interim, Robert's funky ass got a hold of me and I ended up getting with him, right? And it turned into this big mess. A lot of my girlfriends that like knew the guy that I was dating before Robert were really mad at me. And they were like, oh my God, you moved on too fast. And like, you know, just having an opinion about shit that's none of their business. I definitely have to tell you guys that story though, because it does make me look like a biatch, but y'all will understand later. Robert's funky ass was older than me. So when I was a junior, he was a senior. I felt like any other girl feels in high school when you date a senior, like, oh my God, like, you know, he's almost an adult, like, this is amazing, and I'm dating a man, okay? I don't know why we feel that way, but we feel that way. So I started my relationship with Robert, and everything was brand new, and because we were not in the same grade, our schedules were completely different with the exception of lunch. Like, we had the same lunch hour, and obviously we were both upperclassmen, but his locker was like away from mine and like his classes were away from mine, and so, you know, I did not like really know his friends, he didn't really know mine, we didn't have any of the same classes, we were hardly in the same hallways during passing period. He would have to come out of his way to walk me to class or to see me outside of lunch. And I got the impression that Robert was pretty smart. Like, he carried himself that way. He kind of seemed like a nerd, as I mentioned before. And I really liked that about him. He seemed quiet, like a nerd, very different from the guy that I would usually date, and I was just tired of being lied to. I came to find out that they all seem to lie, so. He would walk me to my classes. He would walk me to as many of them as he possibly could, with, you know, enough time to get to his next class as well. So because of that, he started noticing that a lot of my schedule was AP classes, and he was like, damn, like, you know, you must be really smart. So I was really proud of myself, because not only was I in AP classes, I was actually doing really well. Like, my grades were pretty great, so I think my mom had a lot to do with that. So, and I worked really, really hard to maintain my grades, so I was like, yeah, you know, I'm in AP classes, yes. So, you know, because of that, I was like, are you in any AP classes? And honestly, like I said, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Like, half of my friends were not in AP classes, and honestly, like, some of them were way smarter than I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on whether or not you want that workload. So he was like, yeah, I'm in AP classes, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, cool, which ones? And he was like, I'm in I forgot what math class he said that he was in. It was AP. And also he said that he had this like computer science class that was AP, okay? And I had heard about this computer science class. They offered this class at the school, and it was like teaching you almost like the basics of software engineering, and it was like a really strenuous class, I heard. So I was like, that's a little bit out of my realm, like that's out of my niche of like what I like. I like history and writing and English and all of that. So no, so I passed up on that class. Well, I guess Robert's funky ass didn't. He was taking that class, and so that was extremely impressive to me. I was like, really? Like, you're in that class? And he was like, yeah, you know, I have it third period, blah, 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 right after lunch. And I was like, oh, okay. And so, you know, that kind of, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit impressed by that. And I was like, damn, like, okay, like, you know, you're really great with numbers, which was amazing, because I felt like, damn, like, you can help me with my math homework because I don't do well with math. So fast forward like 2-3 months, and I was in my AP history class, and I loved history, I really did. And this was American history. And so there were times that we would have to read from textbooks that weren't necessarily the textbooks that we had checked out. There were like smaller paperback books that you could check out for the day from the library. So my teacher would like fill out this form for the library and send one of us down to go get the books, because like they were like small paperback books. That particular day he picked me to go down to the library to go get all of these books. So I was super excited because obviously everything was about boys back then, and I knew that the computer class was legit right across the hallway from the library. So what does that mean? That I could go visit my mans, and I could go see him and say, hey, what's up, right? So I was like, yes, I will go, and I will go get all the books. And so he gave me the hall pass, gave me the form, and there I go to go get the books and go say hello to my mans. I go down to the library, and you know, I go inside, I talk to the librarian, I get all the books, I check them out, give her the form, blah, 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 and she gives me a slip back that tells my teacher when all of these books need to be returned, right? So I got that, got all the books. The books were probably like this high, so I was like able to carry them in my arms. So I take off, right? And now it's time for me to like stop in real fast and say hello to Robert's funky ass, right? Where the computer lab was, it was actually like in this workspace where you could go in there to work on homework, and like they had computers everywhere and any student could use them. I think if you're not a freshman, and I don't know what it was about freshmen, but they couldn't do nothing. And so you could go in there and access computers and like work on essays with Word documents, and like, you know, you could visit certain websites, but they had restricted websites, you know what I'm saying? In that room, they had separate rooms that were for computer classes, and those rooms had large glass windows. So when you would walk in, you could see who was in those classes, right? So I walk in there and I have all these books, and I'm kind of like, you know, peeking around, and there are some kids working in there or whatever, and I look, there are 2 classes, right? And Robert's funky ass is supposed to be on the right hand side. I start looking around or whatever, and I don't see Robert, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. Like, you know, I'm like legit like sitting there like, am I crazy? Like, he did say that it was this period. So like, you know, I keep looking around, I go back and forth from the 2 classes, and I'm like peeking in the glass window like a crazy person trying to find my mans. Robert had a pretty distinct physical appearance, so like there's no way that I could miss him, and he was not in this class. And then out of nowhere I just hear, hey babe. I turn around and it's Robert's funky ass, and he's like walking in from the hallway, like out by the library. And I was like, hey, and he was like, hey, he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, nothing. I was like, I just wanted to come and say hi. I said I had to pick these up, you know, gave him the whole spiel. And he was like, oh, he was like, well, I'm just coming back from the bathroom. And I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, we said hi, and, you know, whispered little sweet nothings to each other. And he walked me back out to the hallway, like to the end where the stairs were, gave me a kiss, and I went on with my day, okay? And I went back to my class and took all the books back. Everything was super normal. No red flags at this point, okay? Fast forward, I would say probably about another week or 2. Not much time had passed since then. And you remember how I told you guys in past videos that it was my crush? I forgot what I named him. For real, Nikki, right now though, I swear you guys, pregnancy brain is not a myth. It is a real thing, okay? I used to be so sharp and now I'm like just like a little dull. Y'all remember the guy that was my crush in Spanish class at this school? I ended up fighting his ex. Not fighting her like full on fist fight, but I ended up, you know, getting into a little altercation in the bathroom with her during my testing. Okay, that guy. He was not a big fan of Robert, and neither were all of my guy friends, because I had a lot of guy friends in my Spanish class and they were all athletes. And the minute that they found out that I was dating Robert's funky ass, they thought that it was the most ridiculous thing that they had ever heard in their life. They made fun of Robert's funky ass right in front of me. They just thought that he was like an idiot, honestly. Now, in my Spanish class was this guy, and I will call him Mitch, okay? And Mitch was actually in my same American history AP class, right? So he and I both had Spanish together. So sometimes he and I would help each other with our American history homework, and we talk about all of the shit we had to do for that class, right? So we were having that conversation, and then my friend, we're gonna call him Kyle for now. I am so sorry. And I used to have a list, and I can't seem to find it because I rearranged my office. I am so sorry, you guys. Just work with me, okay? I'm gonna call my old crush Kyle, and then you got Mitch that's in my American history AP class, okay? We had just gotten into our Spanish class, and like everybody was coming in and like getting their seat or whatever. And Mitch started talking to me about our American history homework and like how much it was, and oh my god, typed out 12-point Times New Roman font, like how many page essay about this one war or whatever. So we're like basically bitching and complaining about it. Mitch and I kept talking about this assignment, and it was like gonna be such a hard assignment. Mitch and I decided that the next day during our lunch hour that we were gonna work on it together. And you know, I never liked Mitch like that, but he was really nice. You know, we made these plans just like very, you know, nonchalant or whatever. We're gonna meet up during lunch and we're gonna talk about this assignment because like it's gonna be a beast. Out of nowhere, Kyle just kind of looked at me and he was like, how's your boyfriend gonna feel about that? And I was like, feel about what? And he was like, about you working with Mitch on your homework. And he was like, what, he's too dumb to help you? Like he don't know what AP classes are? And so, you know, he was like trying to jab at Robert, and I was like, I'm so sick of you. Like, I'm so sick of you and all your problems. Because everybody here knows that he's dumb as hell. And I was like, he is not. And he was like, yeah, he is. That's why he can't help you with your homework. And I was like, okay, number one, I was like, why would he help you with homework with a class that he doesn't have? I was like, Mitch has this class with me. I said, that's one. I said, two, can you please like mind your business? Like, stay out of my business. And like he was like just trying to pick on me, so like it was all fun and games, right? Like there was nothing, like I was not pissed at him. I was just like, shut up. I was like, you don't even know what you're talking about. I said, because he does have an AP class. And he was like, what class? And he just kind of sat there like, you lying. He was like, there's no way that that boy's in an AP class. And I was like, he is. And I was like, he's in that computer, like that software engineering class, that AP one that's across from the library. I said, you know it, the one that you're too dumb to be in. No, he's not. And I was like, yes, he is. And I got so tired of Kyle because like he would talk about things like he really knew. Kyle was the kind of person that like he was very, very sure of himself. So when he would speak about a topic, he spoke about it as fact, not I think or I'm assuming or I'm pretty sure, but like, no, that's not true. And I was like, what are we talking about? Like, why are we talking so much shit right now? And he was like, honestly though, out of nowhere, you guys, he just got really serious. He was like, Nikki, all jokes aside though, that boy's not in that class. Okay, Kyle. I was like, whatever. And he was like, I'm trying to tell you something. He was like, he's not in that class. He was like, what makes you think that he's in that class? And I was like, what makes you think that he's not? I said, how would you know anyway? And he was like, because my brother's in that class. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I go in there and do my homework sometimes while my brother's in that class and I can see him through the glass. He was like, and I'm telling you, Robert's not in that class. And I was like, yes, he is, because like 2 weeks ago, I went by there to say, hey, what's up? And he was there. And so like, we're like going back and forth. And I was like, why am I arguing with you about this? And he was like, because he's lying to you. He is not in that AP class. And I was like, that is is such a dumb thing for like him to lie to me about, number one. At this point, I'm starting to get embarrassed, because when you feel like you're being lied to and somebody else knows something about your man, especially something like that like really isn't even that big of a deal, and like now somebody's finding out that your man is lying to you about something that stupid, you're just like, I got defensive, and immediately it wasn't a joke no more. And I was like, stop. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, yes, I do. And he was so stubborn, and he was not the kind of person to like let shit go. And he was like, I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't want you to look dumb. He was like, you know, all jokes aside, I'm just trying to tell you because you genuinely think that he's in this class. And I was like, yeah, because he is. And he was like, Nikki, no, he's not. And so like, we're going back and forth, and finally class started, and like our teacher got mad at us for talking. And so you guys, immediately my entire like brain is on this mess about whether or not my man is lying to me about a stupid class. Like, who cares? But like, why would you lie to me about that? So I'm like going back and forth, and I'm like, why would he lie to me about that? That's so dumb. Like, he would not lie to me about that. Like, he's in that class. But then on the other hand, like maybe he felt like he had to lie to me about that, but like, why would he feel like that? Because I never made him feel like that. Like, who the fuck cares? You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like going back and forth, and then I'm like really embarrassed, and I'm like, but what if he is lying to me, and then Kyle's the one that broke the news to me, then Kyle's gonna know that Robert's funky ass was lying to me, and then he's gonna tell everybody that Robert was like trying to like impress me by pretending to be in this class, and I know this whole time, like, you guys, like, I was like losing my shit, and I was like, I hate being lied to. There's no way that he lied to me. Like, Robert just didn't seem like that type of person. And then I started sitting back, and I was like, wait a minute. I never actually saw him go into that class. Like, he walked me back out into the hallway, and like, I peaced out, but I never actually saw him go into that class. He met up with me after school that day, as per usual, and met me at my locker. And you guys, like, I'm just like really weirded out by this, and I'm like, there's no way. But like, if he is lying to me about something like that, like, is it my fault? Did I make him feel like he had to lie? Or in normal Nikki fashion, overthinking the entire thing. And so he comes to my locker, and he's like, hey babe, you know, everything's normal or whatever. And I was like, hey. And you know, I was kind of being weird, and he was like, what's the matter? And I was like, nothing. I was like trying my best to just let it go. Like, who the fuck cares? But it's like the lying. Like, don't lie to me. Like, why are you lying to me? Having an internal battle. Like, does it matter enough for me to bring this up to him and possibly embarrass the shit out of him? Or can I just let it go and not even know for sure, and I'd be fine with that? And so I'm like going back and forth, and I was just like, I can't. Like, I need to know if he's lying to me. Like, I don't care about the whole class thing. I need to know if you're lying to me. And so we get out all the way to the buses, and I'm just like inside my own head, and he can tell that there's something wrong with me. He was like, babe, what's wrong? And so we're standing out on the curb near the buses, and I was like, look, so I just sat there, and I was like, I'm just like really confused. And he goes, why? And I said, because I was talking to Kyle, and the minute I said that, Robert just like rolled his eyes. He was like, oh my God, what now? Because like, they did not like each other, like, at all. And so he was like, what? Okay, don't give me like a little baby attitude, all right? I was like, you know, this is really important to me. And he was like, okay, what? And I was like, Kyle told me that you're not really in that AP computer class. And like, before he could say anything, I was like, which is not a big deal, but you told me that you were. He's telling me that you're not, and I just want to know if you're lying to me. I said, because if you are, I just need you to know you don't need to lie to me. Like, I don't care. I was like, but, you know, don't lie to me like that. And he just kind of sat there. He goes, how the hell would Kyle know? So, like, he wouldn't answer the question. He was like, how would Kyle know? He was like, Kyle's not even in that class. He was like, Kyle doesn't know shit about me. And I was like, okay, but you're not answering the question. I was like, are you in that class or aren't you? And he was like, why does it matter? I was like, it doesn't, but you're the one who told me that you were. I said, and I went over there to visit you. I was like, so based on you not wanting to answer the question, I'm assuming that you're not really in that class. And he goes, and what if I'm not? And what if you're not? I was like, who cares? And he was like, obviously you do. And I was like, no, I care about you lying to me about something as dumb as an AP class. And he was like, oh, AP classes are stupid now? He's like, that's why you're in nothing but AP? I said, oh, so this is about me and my life and what my mother makes me do, which is be in AP classes. I said, just because that's my schedule doesn't mean that I expect you to have the same schedule. I never, ever, ever, ever made you feel that way. I never said anything like that, anything of the sort to you. I said, what would make you think that I would like judge you or like, you know, think less of you if you weren't an AP? Who cares? Like, you guys were having the most ridiculous argument right out by the buses. Like, people are passing by and we're arguing about AP classes. Like, what the fuck? You're lying. Of course you care. Girls like you always care. And I was like, girls like me? Hold up. I remember he said that and I was like, what you mean? Girls like me? And so like it started getting big and it was like starting to become a problem. And he was like, girls like you that think they're all that just because they got AP classes and because they're smart. Okay, who in the hell goes around school and is like, yeah, I'm in AP classes, I'm the shit? Like, who does that? Like, more often than not, you get kids that are in AP classes that are like, oh my god, like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, AP classes is like so much work. That's so dumb to me. Like, for you to make somebody else feel bad for not being in a certain class, really? I was like, you took my schedule and where you were walking me and took that upon yourself, and it affected your self-esteem, and I had nothing to do with that. I was like, so if you want to be mad at me because I'm, you know, I'm in these classes, I don't pick my own classes. You think I pick my own classes? You obviously don't know my mother. I was like, you know, this is so dumb. I don't understand why you're so upset with me. He could not answer that. And he was like, well, because, and I was like, because what? I said, what the hell did I do wrong for you to be mad at me right now? I said, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I said, I'm mad and I have the right to be mad because you lied to me and one of my friends had to tell me the truth and make me look so dumb. And he was like, oh, I don't know why Kyle's all up in our business anyway. Guys, it was a pretty big fight. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and it like affected us for like a good 2-3 days because Robert really was not a dumb person. He wasn't. Like, you either wanted AP classes or you didn't. It's really not that big of a deal. But like the fact that they all knew that he was lying to me was really, really embarrassing. Sometimes when you meet a person, whether it's a guy or a girl, sometimes they have their own personal insecurities, and if you're doing really well or you're doing something different or you're doing something advanced or whatever, it starts to affect them, and sometimes it'll cause them to lie to you or to not be honest with you, and I just feel like it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't feel like there's any reason for you to be lying to anybody. If you're with somebody that would make you feel bad for like not being smart enough or not doing exactly what they're doing, like, F it, man. Like, it's stupid. It's a stupid argument to have, and you know, you should never be made to feel insecure about yourself because you're not doing whatever somebody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact though that was never, you guys, like, I dated guys that I would rather not mention. It was never like, oh my god, they need to be in all of these classes for them to like meet my standards, like, ever. Like, who really, honestly, I just, you know, I either liked you or I didn't. There's nothing that I hate more than for somebody else to tell me what you should tell me. You know, like, if I have a relationship with you, whether it's a friendship or like a romantic relationship, don't let somebody else do that. Like, you tell me, not somebody else, because then I'm gonna look and feel very dumb. Don't do that. That is the dumbest fight that I've ever had, and that was one of very many dumb lies that Robert's funky ass told me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that huge subscribe button to be notified of every time I upload here on my channel. And I got a new computer, so I'm really excited because more videos to come, y'all. Let me know your stories down below. What is the dumbest lie that you've ever been told, whether it's from a friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or like anything, like something that you're just like, why the hell would you lie to me about something like that? Let me know down below, because I know I'm not the only one, and if I am, oh my god. But thank you guys so much for joining me for story time today, Sunday, and don't forget some new videos are coming up really soon. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing Easter, and if you don't celebrate Easter, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. But I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Peace out.